watching KOAT Action 7 News live at 10.
A shooting in San Francisco has ignited a debate about undocumented immigrants. ABC's Brandy Hitt has more on who may be at fault for allowing the accused gunman to walk the streets.
Kate Steinle's shooting death in San Francisco has turned into a heated blame game between local and federal law enforcement.
No, no soy culpable. No.
I am not guilty.
While accused gunman Francisco Sanchez appeared in court, this document obtained by KGO-TV shows it was the San Francisco Sheriff's Department that requested Sanchez be transferred from federal custody in March to face a local drug charge. But the sheriff claims they were only responding to a request.
All the contact was initialized by the feds. Once that happens, it's our obligation to arrange transportation.
When the charges were dropped, Sanchez was released. The undocumented immigrant, deported 5 times, claims he then found a gun under a bench and accidentally shot Steinle on Pier 14.
I hear that boom, boom, 3 times.
That gun stolen from a federal agent's personal vehicle just 3 days earlier.
We have no reason to believe that he was responsible for taking this gun.
San Francisco's mayor is outraged the sheriff did not notify the feds about Sanchez's release, claiming it would not impact a sanctuary city law protecting illegal immigrants.
Do I need to educate somebody about how to pick up a phone?
Steinle's family is distancing themselves from the finger pointing and cameras, choosing to celebrate Kate's life on this Facebook page and at a private memorial. This case also continues to fuel the immigration debate. The U.S. Sentencing Commission reports more than 18,000 people were sentenced for felony re-entry into the U.S. in 2013 and had been deported an average of 3 times. Brandy Hitt, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A big coincidence or a major cyber attack? That's what experts are trying to figure out after networks for the New York Stock Exchange and United Airlines crashed. Yesterday, Wall Street was staring at blank screens for almost 4 hours. But its president says it was just a glitch, and United passengers who were grounded for hours are being told the same. The glitches caused major setbacks, but they don't seem to be linked.
The fact that both of them failed within an hour of each other and failed totally could just be a coincidence. Or it could be someone trying to send us a signal.
Wall Street was back up and running today, and United is giving vouchers to the passengers whose flights were delayed. 21 million, that's the number of people officials say affected by a massive cyber attack. The Obama administration says Social Security numbers and other sensitive information was stolen when government computer systems were hacked. The government says it suspects China's behind it. The number of people impacted is 4 times more than initially thought. China has denied any involvement.
A man is in custody for allegedly killing 7 people in New Jersey. Officials say 22-year-old Todd West went on a shooting spree, killing 4 people. One of them was his cousin. Using forensics, investigators were able to find him in Pennsylvania.
We have never seen one individual commit this type of shooting spree, murder spree in such a short period of time here in this county.
West is currently in custody for allegedly killing 3 other people. Officials say the motive for the murders is unknown. 3 sisters are home safe after being lost in the Wyoming wilderness. Search crews spent several days looking for the girls. They're experienced hikers, but during a hiking trip got lost on a trail. Officials were able to narrow the search with a cell phone signal. Crews covered about 150 miles to find the girls as churches prayed for their safe return. The hard work paid off. The girls were airlifted out of the forest this morning. Officials say they were cold and hungry, but overall they're doing okay.
Construction for Donald Trump's new hotel is in progress, but protesters are trying to put a stop to it. People in Washington, D.C. gathered outside the soon-to-be Trump International to show their disapproval of the presidential candidate. Trump made some controversial comments about Mexican immigrants during a campaign speech. NBC and Macy's have cut business ties with the Republican nominee.
It's a lot of money, but fortunately I'm very rich. It doesn't matter to me. Does it matter? No.
Candidates must submit their personal finance disclosure list next week. Today we learned about the death of one of NFL's most colorful stars. Former Oakland Raiders quarterback Kenny Stabler died overnight. His family says he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer in February. Stabler, nicknamed the Snake, was the MVP of the league in '74 and led the Raiders to the Super Bowl victory in '76. The Alabama native threw for almost 28,000 yards over 15 seasons. Team owner Mark Davis says the quarterback's memory will continue to live on in the hearts of Raider fans everywhere. Stabler was 69.
A sexual assault prevention group started a petition to revoke Bill Cosby's Presidential Medal of Freedom. Cosby was awarded that medal in 2002, but the group called Promoting Awareness, Victim Empowerment says the White House should not recognize him as a recipient. Newly released court documents reveal Cosby admitted he had intentions to give sedatives to women he wanted to have sex with. The comedian has never been charged for sexual assault, and he denies the allegations. A White House spokesperson says he's not sure if it's legally possible to take the medal back. Another extension for the nuclear negotiation between the United States and Iran. Today was supposed to be the deadline for a final deal, but lawmakers say there are too many differences. Earlier this year, negotiations outlined a tentative framework that would allow unprecedented inspections of Iran's nuclear facilities, reduce Iran's existing supply of nuclear fuel, and limit its ability to make highly enriched uranium. But deciding how its program would be monitored and when sanctions on Iran should be lifted remain unsettled. Lawmakers now have 60 days to review any final agreement. A debate over wildfire funding is getting heated. The U.S. Forest Service says it needs more money, but tight budgets may not let that happen. A new bill would allow the agency to tap into federal disaster funding to pay for major wildfire costs once it's exceeded spending. But the White House says the proposal isn't the answer to the budget problem. It argues the Forest Service should be eligible for funds sooner. There are currently 50 active fires in 10 states. Officials say this financial dilemma is nothing new.
The last 8 out of 10 years, we've exceeded our costs exceeded the appropriations that we received. So we have to use other money.
More than half the fires are taking place in Alaska and Washington. A separate funding fix is working its way through the Senate.
You are what you eat, which could be a problem because research suggests you're not eating enough fruits and veggies. Dr. Amo explains in today's Health Beats.
Fruits and vegetables, an endangered species on the palates of American adults, according to a new study out from the CDC. And they're not endangered because we're scarfing them down. In fact, just the opposite. Researchers looked at a large national survey to study the amount of fruits and veggies Americans eat every day. Overall, they found that only 13% reported eating the recommended 1.5 to 2 cups of fruit daily, and a miserable 9% ate the recommended 2 to 3 cups of vegetables. Those in some states did better than others, but even in California, which had the highest rate of adults eating their fruits and veggies, fewer than 1 in 5 actually hit the recommended levels. People always ask me about what diet I think is the best. It's the Mediterranean diet that's loaded with fruits and vegetables. So if you want to prolong your life with good health, the best way to do it is increase the composition of your diet with more fruits and vegetables. For Health Beat, I'm Dr. Barry Ramo, KOAT Action 7 News.
Now here's Chief Meteorologist Joe Diaz with tonight's weather video.
In South China, a powerful typhoon hit the region, causing lots of damage. The powerful storm made landfall today. Heavy rain hit the area, stranding hundreds of passengers at the airport. Over 10,000 fishing vessels returned to port, and thousands of people were evacuated from coastal areas. Fortunately, no deaths or injuries were reported. In Massachusetts, severe weather hits parts of the area as a microburst downs trees, damages homes. Large trees were knocked over from intense winds, which sent many people in this neighborhood scrambling for shelter. This is the second round of damaging winds for this area over the past 5 weeks.
A look at tonight's top stories next.
And we'll have a final look at your morning forecast.